They leave the MAA's office together and return separately, each carrying his AWOL bag. An immaculate sailor is a beautiful sight, and that is by no means accidental. An immaculate sailor spit polishes his shoes for hours until they capture and hold the light. He wraps masking tape around his hand and patches the trousers and jumper of his dress blues until they are totally free of lint. He presses his own uniform with a steam iron and a damp cloth to make sure the reverse creases running down the sides of his legs and arms are straight and definite. When he takes the uniform off, he folds it in an elaborate inside-out pattern in order to maintain the creases. He takes a toothbrush and scrubs the white piping of his jumper until it gleams. He rolls his neckerchief until it's as round and firm as a rope. He works his white hat until the brim rolls over evenly all around the top, then keeps it in a clear plastic bag. The white hat is the most important article of his uniform. It must be placed with great care exactly 2 fingers above the very top of the nose so that it rests just above the eyebrow line. If a sailor is to be beautiful, the white hat must be perfect in all respects. This done, he stands with his back slightly arched so that there is a suggestion of a pouch between the legs, his hands hanging limp as though ready to draw for a gun. This picture of the immaculate sailor has recruited more young men than all the pamphlets describing the opportunities and benefits the Navy has to offer. Billy and Mule stand in the MAA's office, 2 immaculate sailors. Larry Meadows slumps in a chair in the corner of the office. He is not an immaculate sailor. He could never recruit others. He sits as if trying to disappear inside his peacoat. His jumper flap is bunched up against the collar of his peacoat. He wears stainless steel handcuffs and holds his dingy white hat listlessly with both hands. His shoes are only brushed. He does not look up from them, nor does he move, yet he seems to slip deeper into his peacoat. The messenger stands in another corner, his back against the wall, frightened for no reason except that Meadows is 18, his own age. He does not jump to get anyone coffee. He pulls at a rough cuticle. The yeoman is all business and goes about pulling copies of orders, stuffing them into envelopes, and checking travel vouchers and meal tickets with cool mechanical efficiency. When he finishes, he takes off his glasses and puts them into his jumper pocket. He hands the pile of paperwork to the chief MAA and leans back in his chair, folding his arms across his desk. "Okay, Buddusky," says the chief. "You're the honcho. Here's Meadows' stuff." He hands Billy a large manila envelope sealed with tape. He hands Billy and Mule 2 unsealed white envelopes. "And here's your orders, travel chits, and meal tickets." Billy and Mule put them into their inside peacoat pockets. "The carryall and driver are outside to take you to the bus. You take the bus to Richmond and the train to Washington, then up to New York and Boston, and you get another bus to Portsmouth. It says on the orders that you're to arrive no later than 2400 on 9 February. That don't mean you should play grab-ass for 5 days before showing up at Portsmouth. You get your asses up there just as soon as you can. If you take 1 day more on the return trip than on the going trip, well, that's understandable. Here's the keys to the cuffs. Each of you gets 1 key." The chief opens his desk drawer and takes out 2 .45s with holsters and guard belts. On top of each is a form. "Both of you sign these for the pieces." First Billy, then Mule bend over the desk and sign their names. They bring the guard belts around their middles, adjust the hooks for size, and straighten out their coats. "Here's a clip each. Put it in your pocket." They do so. The chief reaches in another drawer and pulls out 2 SP armbands. He ties them on their arms. "So there you are," says the chief, standing back and looking at them. "1 minute you're slaving it off in the TV room or shooting craps in the reefer, and the next minute you're the sheriff of Cochise." The yeoman yawns audibly. "Now, do you have any questions?" asks the chief. "Everything clear?" Billy and Mule nod. "Let me tell you something else off the record. The old man and his old lady have a personal interest in this case. You know, so you fuck up and you know what." "Yeah," says Mule. "We can give our hearts to Jesus." "'Cause your asses will belong to the old man," finishes the chief. The chief turns to Meadows and shouts, "Okay, shitbird, on your feet." Meadows snaps out of the chair and comes to an awkward, shaky attention. "These 2 guys are taking you to Portsmouth. This is Petty Officer Buddusky, and this is Petty Officer Mulehall."